Great. So welcome everyone. So something interesting, or I don't know what to call it, but something which happened yesterday. So I was uh, I was on my way back to my car after a dentist appointment, and as I was reaching the car, there was one couple who happened to be walking not on the footpath but on the street, on the outside side of the car. One couple that was coming in my direction, and I was going towards the car, towards the door. And the guy um, kind of put his hand this way towards me. And so I just happened to notice him. And it, it there was a bandage on his hand, and clearly his hand had been amputated almost till the forearm. So it was a very like, it caught my attention, and I said, and I it's like I don't even know the person, I don't even know who it is, and just it came out of me, ye kaise ho gaya? As if it is some long lost friend or somebody like that. It just came to me. I said, "Are ye kaise ho gaya aisa?" So he just stopped. The both of them stopped, and he said, uh, "Accident ho gaya, motorcycle." And and um, um, and I just what do you call it? I just started crying. I don't know, on the street right there in front of him. I just started crying, and I just hugged him, and I said, "How could this happen to you? How did it happen? How? I'm so sorry," I said, "that this happened to you." And I just hugged him, and just um, I was just so overwhelmed that somebody could have to face such and young guy. I mean, he may not have been even maybe more than 30, 32 years old, something like that. And here is whole life in front of him, and here is this tragedy that has happened. But in that moment, like, all the somehow all the differences that separate people, all the things that keep us apart. Oh, it's a stranger, and clearly it was, somebody was quite poor. I mean, from just going by his clothes, and his wife was also there in a burqa, actually. And so I couldn't see much of her, but I mean, I could just tell this is not well-off couple, and young, and and so all the separation, all the considerations, all the things that normally keep things on sort of under control just fell. And here I was, and the guy was shocked. He said, I mean, here is this complete stranger hugging him and literally sobbing. I was just in tears. And 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 eventually he was telling me, it's okay, koi baat nahi." मुझे कह रहा है, कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं. So the whole thing kind of got reversed, and he's comforting me. It's okay. And And so I said, is there anything I can do for you? What do you do? I said, how are you managing? And now when I think back, it's like the conversation was as if it was with some long lost friend or a relative or somebody that, how are you managing? What's going on? How is there something I can do? And things like that. And he said, nahi, nahi, it's okay. मैं ठीक हूँ वैसे. So, so they didn't want uh, any material help or anything. But of course, I'm sure just that level of concern, that level of human expression, I'm sure that was something that he was moved by. And so and what has kind of got me into this mode, of course, is all this conversations that we have, all this contemplation, all this meditation, all this understanding of what it means to be human, um, or and taking that to its logical step all the way. um, I was listening. I came across this one talk by Sadhguru. Um Many of you, I guess you all know, he was an SSY teacher actually, just a couple of years um, before I took the teacher's training. He was in that same teacher's training and all that. But I came across this video and he was talking about how, and we all know this, it's not something new, but it kind of, for some reason, it just hit home with me, that in this form, as in this form, with this body and this mind, we have the opportunity and the ability to understand life, to feel life, to discriminate, to sift through and have this intellect. So manas hai, buddhi hai, ahankar meaning एक आकार है, और चित्त तो है ही. But that this all four, man, buddhi, chit, akar, ye we have only in this form, in this life as human beings. Once this body is not available to us anymore, we don't have this ability to discriminate, to understand at the multiple dimensions of reality. And we become just prone to, as disembodied consciousness, um, just directly experiencing without discriminating. So, and that this time, this life, this moment is a unique opportunity, and the window is small, in which we have so much going for us. There's so much going as human beings, the ability to think, the ability to see, the ability to express, the ability to create, the ability to discern, to move, to, you know, to walk, talk, all this. This is a unique moment. And literally, we don't have a moment to lose. That's kind of what, we don't have a moment to lose. What are we going to do? Wasting our time, wasting this precious body, this precious time, worrying and spending time on things that are not so important. And what is important? Love is important, compassion is important. And it was clearly this churning that's happening, which said, you don't have time to lose. When you see somebody and you feel compassion, simply let it flow, let it express itself. There is um, not so famous, actually, almost an unknown, wise woman from Gujarat. Um Ganga Sati was her name. Not that she was a sati or anything, but somehow the name is Ganga Sati. And very, very uh, wise woman. And she had reached a point where she was ready to, you know, at will decide whether she wanted to continue to live or leave the body. And she was about to leave her body because she knew that there's a, a merger with the divine, which awaits. Um, but just as she was going to do that, her her son said, you can't leave us yet, because there is so much knowledge that you have which you must leave behind. So she took it on herself to train her, to teach her daughter-in-law whatever she had learned. And the daughter-in-law's name was Panba. Panba. And so the one line that stays with me from her whole experience and her whole life was, she was telling Panba, in Gujarati it is, but Vijli na jhapkare moti porvi lo Panba. So मोती जो है वो पिरोना है, अंधेरा है, और बिजली का चमकारा जितने समय तक आता है और जाता है, उस उतने में ये मोती को आपको पिरोना है. बिजली ना झपकारे मोती पोरवी लो पानबा. Meaning this life is just such a flicker, just a flicker. In that short span, moti pirolo, yani discover yourself, find out who you are, and live that in this short time. So, you know, so since this, I mean, since everything, but I no longer want to allow considerations which we normally put as objections. Arey, itna late ho gaya, or it is too early, or it is not the right time, or is not the right person, or is not the right circumstance. ये सारे जो विचार है, उनको अभी मैं हवा नहीं देता हूँ. So whatever it is. So for example, when was it? I think it was Sunday night. And I wanted to just listen to music, and it was already 1 at night, and normally I would have said, chalo, 1 baj gaya, yaar, forget it, I'll listen to it tomorrow. But with this new resolve, Vijli na jhapkare moti porvilo, I just got out of bed and I came to this room with the music studio, and I was listening to music, and some really, really wonderful. I posted that particular bhajan which I heard on that night at 1 o'clock. I almost sent a message on Zoom to all of you. I said, okay, guys, chalo, wake up. We got to listen to this. And I said, पता नहीं घर पे लोग क्या कहेंगे यार, ये रात को 1:30 बजे लोगों को जगा के क्या भजन करवा रहे. But don't be surprised if you get a message, and if you happen to be awake, whether it's 2 in the morning or 4 or 11 or I don't know what, uh, don't miss whatever opportunity comes to share, to learn, to be, to give, to receive. So great. Yeah, so be ready, everyone, be ready, anytime, any moment of sharing, of caring, of loving, of understanding, of moving forward. वो बिजली का जो चमकारा है, जो कभी भी आता है, तो तभी तभी स्ट्राइक करना है. So prepare your families in advance कि ऐसा कभी कुछ होगा तो don't get too worried. It's okay.
So last 4 days Bombay में बिजली चमक रही है ना?
And I know सच है, बहुत चमक रही है.
बहुत ज़्यादा.
I know it's amazing. So yeah, so yeah, any time and every time is time for giving, time for loving, time for receiving, time for being, time for becoming, time for growing, time for becoming who you're meant to be. Anytime, anywhere. If it's a street, it's the street. If it's the middle of traffic, it's the middle of traffic. And if it's a stranger, it's a stranger. But when the opportunity in the heart opens up to love, don't wait, don't stop. So I was glad that looking back, I don't know, keep maybe 5 years ago, 7, or maybe even last week, I may not have done quite be as expressive as I was with that person. And I tell you, it's almost it almost it's like it feeds each other, that the more open you are, the more loving you become, and the more loving you become, the more open you become. And I said, no matter what, this is how we must all learn to live. We must learn to live like this. We must learn to live like this. And we will not always succeed, but the intention and the direction is very clear. We cannot always be like that. Maybe, if somebody's what do you call, unreasonable or mean or something, it may be difficult to scratch the surface and see the love, find the love. It may not be easy, but 100% clear that that's your intention and that's the direction you want to move in, even if it doesn't work every time. And the flip side is that when you are that clear, it does work. It does work. So yeah. So Sana is also here. Great, Sana, welcome. So I happened to meet Sana.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, at my sister's house the other day, and that bhajan, that dhun was just just in my mind, and it is so beautiful that even when I had only half an hour to spend with them about other things, we recorded that one. We sang that bhajan together, the dhun, and we recorded it together. So it was a wonderful experience. And the only thing is, and yeah, I was looking for that, that people. So given that we are all just meeting virtually, and on Zoom, you cannot do a live chanting because the time lag is such that you can't do the dhun. But uh, so as soon as I had at least one or two people, Lopa and Sana, we sang this bhajan. But so you can all learn this one also now. Okay, everybody is going to learn this. You'll have to, the only thing is you're on mute, but you will repeat, because as you hear it, you repeat, and that way you can learn it. It's a very beautiful tune. Something interesting I realized about Krishna Das. All, every single dhun that he has, all of them, whether it's Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Bhagwan, Jai Ram, Jai Radha, all of them are in Rag Darbari, or each and every one is Darbari, which is, of course, my favorite Rag. So I was amazed to find that that's how it is, that he just does everything in Darbari. Okay, I start with the warm-up of Om itself. Radhe Radhe Govind Govind Radhe 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 Govind Govind Radhe. Okay, repeat. Radhe Radhe Govind Govind Radhe 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 Govind Govind Radhe. Sandhya Ben, you too, sing. Sing, one line me, one line you. Radhe Radhe Govind Govind Radhe 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 Govind Govind Radhe राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे। राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे। राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे। राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा। राधे राधे गोविंद गोविंद राधे। 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 Wonderful. So this music, so it's like at the border, like we were saying the other day, is at the border between the inner world and the outer world. It is at the border between the Jivatma and the Paramatma. It's right on that border. It is the vehicle. It is the way, it is the path from which Jivatma can realize itself as Paramatma. So we take the help of whatever comes, whatever. जो करना है हमें, जो एक बिजली के झपकारे में जो मोती पिरोने हैं, उसके लिए जो भी सहारा मिल जाए ले लो भैया, सब ले लो। ये बहस नहीं करते कि ये this is a crutch. Ultimately meditation is a crutch. devotion, prayer, everything is a crutch. But जैसे कहा है ना, आंखें हैं धुंधली, पंख है कोमल. तो धुंधली आंख और ये कोमल पंख जो हमारे पास है, जो भी सहारा मिल जाए ठीक है. So music, dedication, devotion, that interface. Ultimately, yes, it is also nothing. But it is so, and we want to get to that nothing, but it is so close to that nothing that it is something that we can at least get a hold of and move into that nothing which we ultimately are. So this is the importance of that interface, that जो जो उस border पे है. That is why, for example, Hanuman, see in Hinduism में सारी बातें जो है वो symbolic है. You know, was there really a monkey that can fly? I don't think that's what the whole point is. The point is not that, whether there was literally a monkey who can fly and do all this stuff. The point is Hanuman, the essence of Hanuman is a being who is somewhere on that border, not the divine form as Ram, and not the human form or the villain form of Lakshman or Ravan, but right in between, so that idea of Hanuman, of surrenderfulness, of innocence, of okayness, becomes a vehicle to reach the Ram that lies within each of us. And that is why Hanuman is worshipped, because Hanuman is at that border. Garuda is at that border. Not Vishnu, not Ram, but Hanuman and Garuda. They are revered and worshipped and prayed because they open up an entryway to that. So music is also like that. Service is like that. Meditation is like that. Contemplation is like that. Art is like that. Being loving is like that. Is right on that edge. Straddles both worlds. It is straddling both worlds until we can actually cross over. तब तक एक सहारा है ये सारी बातें. And even this forum, this platform, this open door. So make use of it, make use of this moment, make use of this life. There is not a moment to lose. Not a moment to lose. Not a moment to lose. Wonderful. Any questions, comments?
Yes.
Yeah, Sonal had a question actually, so I'll answer that.
Agneji also.
Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Hare Rama, Krishna Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna Hare, Radhe Shyam, Krishna Hare, Radhe Shyam, Krishna Hare, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Shyam, Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Radhe Radhe, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Shyam, Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Krishna, Radhe Hare Rama, Krishna Hare, Radhe Shyam, Krishna Hare, Radhe Shyam, Krishna Hare. Great. So Sonal had a question about the difference between sympathy and compassion. So to put it in very simple terms, Sonal, sympathy is an outer world phenomenon, in which is an activity of this contracted self, which involves कि मुझे, it's like कि that I feel the other person's pain, or I have sympathy, meaning I have a feeling of a same feeling. Sympathy means has to do with same. Same pathy means feeling. Same feeling as you, I have. But it is still in the realm of feelings. Compassion is from the beyond. Compassion is the infinite self, recognizing itself in each and everything. Not simply the feeling, but I am you. Knowing that it is what is the natural state of the being. I am you is a very, very much deeper thought than I feel for you. I feel for you. Very nice. At least you feel for somebody, not just yourself. But compassion, the underlying statement is, I am you. I am you. Sympathy comes from a place of, somehow I'm better than you, somehow in the back. I am luckier than you that I don't have the same problem that you have. And so I feel for you. Compassion is, I am divine and I recognize that divinity that you are. And I am naturally am you. And therefore, I have compassion, love, which arises. Right. Sympathy is a doingness, whereas compassion is what just happens as a natural result of who you are. Right. Yeah. So pity, sympathy. Pity is even a little bit on a lower grade than sympathy also. Pity is even more, oh, I am so lucky, I am so blessed that at least little bit closer to each other. But when there is no separation, when there is no separation, then what emerges is compassion. Compassion for all that there is, all of life, without judgment. I can have sympathy for the people suffering in Ukraine, but I have compassion, not just for the Ukrainians, but also the Russians. It's a much, much broader, it's a much more inclusive, much more, it's from the I am. Rather than I am good or I am nice, it comes from I am. I am good leads to sympathy. You drop the good, you drop the bad, and only say I am, and that leads to compassion. Great. Divine people have compassion. Yes, very true, Pandeyji. But let us not forget that everyone is divine. So everyone has compassion. It's not just the divine people who have compassion. In fact, yes, divine people have compassion, and everyone is divine. Everything is divine, because there is nothing there except divine, which I was telling Sana also yesterday when she posted about the bhajan, that truly you are divine, and I'm saying, yes, and everyone else is too. All is divine. There is nothing else. And the sooner we start living that, knowing, see, understanding that, agreeing with that, knowing that is one level. But how do we start living that? And when? Foreign, immediately. There's a friend of mine from Mexico, we always used to say this phrase, like whenever somebody would ask her, when do you want it? She would say, immediately, if not sooner. Immediately, if not sooner. If you can do it sooner than immediately, even better. So foreign उसी जगह में जाना है, उसी जगह में रहना है. Great. So, anything else anyone wants to say before we close?
नहीं, मैं शेयर कर रहा था एक जो विचार
Sure.
जो थोड़ा आया था वो साझा कर रहा था, और जो मेरा अपना स्वयं का अनुभव रहा है, ये जो आपने इतना सुंदर, इतना वो जो गाया, वो भजन, मतलब जब भक्ति के भाव से जब गाया जाता ना, तो एकदम वो रोमांच होने लगता है, वो आंखों में एकदम प्रेमाश्रु आने लगते हैं. तो जो आपने कहा ना, वो जो आनंद स्वरूपो हम वाला जो भाव है, जो जिसको ईश्वर तत्व में है, वो अपने आप प्रस्फुटित होने लगता है. मतलब उसको कुछ सोचना नहीं पड़ता है.
So
तो
true.
मैंने ये अनुभव किया कि लॉजिक हम जीरो के आगे जब 1 से लेकर के अनंत तक ढेर सारा कुछ विद्वता और लॉजिक लगाते रहते हैं, सारा उसमें ज्ञान मार्ग द्वारा, एंड अल्टीमेटली वी फाइंड कि यार ये तो सब कोई लॉजिक वहां फिट होती नहीं, सारी लॉजिक वहां इमर्स हो जाती है. तो देन वो भक्ति भाव, वो फिर से जीरो आ जाता है और भक्ति भाव आ जाता है वहां पे, और फिर उसका एक अलग आनंद है, जैसा आपने भाजन में आपके आ गया वो.
Very true, very true, very true. And I consider myself so blessed that we have all of this available. We have the thinking capacity and the intellect and the ability to know something very deeply, to analyze, to understand, to go deep into it and really get to the gold that is lying. Wo bhi hai. And we also have the opportunity to just let it all go and just be nothingness for no reason, without logic. And I think if we can all cultivate all of this, that we don't have to exclude, वो जो मार्ग वाली जो कभी-कभी चर्चा होती है कि भक्ति मार्ग सही है, ज्ञान मार्ग सही है, कर्म मार्ग सही है, तो which one is the right one, and some people say आपकी रुचि के हिसाब से जाइए, लेकिन जो आप है, जो स्वयं आप है, अल्टीमेटली जो आप है, उसकी कोई रुचि ही नहीं है. निर्गुण, निर्गुण है आप, तो कौन सी रुचि? Everything is available, everything is possible. Bhakti is also possible, Gyan is also possible, Karma is also possible. So we don't have to pick and choose कि यही मार्ग लेके हम चलो यही चलते हैं और यही. We have all possibility, and in whatever life presents, जो सामने आता है, जो भी what is appropriate in that moment, go with that. So karma ya seva, when that person, you were not there when I shared this story about that young man who had lost one arm. That was not a time for gyan, right? Ki tumhe ye kaise hua accident? How can you do this? How did you were not careful or whatever. It's not a time for gyan. It is a time for compassion, for seva. What can I do for you? How can I help you? I'm so sorry whatever happened to you. And when there is nothing, of course, nothing is available. This bhakti, this chanting. What is chanting? There is no meaning.
Yes.
There is no words. We are just, matlab, words को जितना zero तक ले जा सकते हैं into meaninglessness, and yet we find love there. नाम स्मरण जो है, कोई अर्थ नहीं है, कोई मीनिंग नहीं है, कोई कहानी नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. राधे गोविंद, बस ये दो शब्दों पे पूरा भजन चल रहा है. राधे गोविंद, बस. So that's the beauty. So we are all lucky in that we have all available. All of it is available to us, and we can
Actually, मार्ग
continue.
जैसी कोई बात ही नहीं है. It is right here only.
It is
जाना
right
कहाँ
here
है?
only. It's right here. Whatever is here is the marg.
बस
That is
बस
it. Whatever is here is the marg, because that is what it is. Yeah, Sana, you had a question. Chat पे आपने लिखा है, but okay, you can unmute and speak, or are they able to unmute, Jennifer ji?
Yes.
Okay. So how to without being up? Yeah. So she maybe she's not able to unmute, or
Sir, I can unmute.
go
I
ahead.
just,
Go ahead. बोलिए.
so so many
You can
times.
turn on the video also if you can.
Next time, sir.
Okay, fine.
So
Sure, go
I
ahead.
was like telling you that like I encountered a problem with one of the clients that she was pretty rude in her speech, whereas it was not required and it was not my fault as well. And I just couldn't take the way she the way she spoke, and without taking that conversation further, I just thought it's better that I just cut the conversation. And I said, I'm sorry, I don't think I want to talk to you anymore. And
Correct.
I disconnected. But I was very hurt that when we are not wrong, still people speak rudely. And I don't understand at that very moment how to handle that situation and not be shaken up at the same time. And and I definitely did forgiveness after I kept the phone down, but still somewhere, sir, it hurts.
Somewhere it
Why did
hurts,
she?
and somewhere
Yeah,
it bothers. It
yeah.
bothers
Why did
us.
she do that? Because, and sir, I'll be very honest with you. What she said, so, like she ordered some product from us, and then the next day she canceled it, and I told her, you've been repeatedly doing it. Don't do that, because that's not the way it works. So she said, it's my wish. It's my money. I'll do it the way I want. And she was very rude. And then she happened to tell me a sentence which I'd never heard from anyone. And she said, I think, Sana, your energies are bad and you have some blockage. And I was very taken aback, like somebody telling me like this.
Yeah.
And I told her, I think I don't want to talk to you. And I just disconnected the phone.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you did, I don't think there's anything wrong with the action of disconnecting. If you don't want to engage with, see, loving and liking are two different things.
Yeah.
While who I am is love itself, and there is love for all of creation and for every single human being, regardless of whether they are saints or they are terrorists. I have love for them because that's who I am. But liking is a different thing. If somebody gives, if there is a choice for me to spend time with with someone that I like, I would certainly prefer that to someone that I don't like, even though I do love all that there is. So in the process of making that choice of not liking, we don't have to throw away the loving. So the act of hanging up the phone says, I don't like what you're saying. I don't like how you're saying it. And I don't want to engage with you on this anymore. So that statement of hanging up the phone is a statement of, I don't like what is being, how you're speaking or your manners or your words. I don't like them. And therefore I'm hanging up, which is fine. But like I was talking the other day, scratch the surface to find the love. वो scratch card आते हैं ना लॉटरी वाले, लॉटरी में
Yes,
आते हैं
sir.
कभी, पता है ना, वो स्क्रैच
Yes.
करो फिर अंदर से निकलता है वो नंबर, और
Correct.
उसमें वो नंबर में फिर लव और whatever the gift is. So the gift which is present in every moment, in every person, is the I that everything is, the consciousness that everything is, the divine from which everything arises is just below the surface. So वो surface वाला जो नहीं पसंद है उसको scratch out करके, if we look little bit below, we will always find the love. ये लॉटरी जो लाइफ की लॉटरी है ना, वो ऐसी अच्छी लॉटरी है कि हर टिकट विनर है, ऐसी वाली लॉटरी है ये. द नॉर्मल लॉटरी कार्ड आते हैं, कुछ स्क्रैच करो, कुछ 0 मिलता है, कुछ 1 रुपया मिलता है, कुछ 10 रुपया मिलता है और कुछ बड़ा इनाम मिलता है. बट ये लाइफ वाली जो लॉटरी है, every moment is a scratch card with a gift of love hidden in it. Every moment is a lottery, just hidden. So if we have the eyes, the ears, and the opening within our heart to be able to scratch below that surface, we will always hit the lottery. And when we hit the lottery of love, then we may not like a person, but we don't have to stop loving them or feeling love for them or being in love with all that there is. So in this case also, Sana, what is below this
Yes.
person, below that surface, whatever the outer words or outer action, they are more, the only motivation for which anyone does anything is love. Love for
Got it.
something, is love for something. She loves whatever the result that she is looking for from whatever product you are giving her. That desire to get that product, what is below that is a desire to find love at the end of it.
Yes.
So every person is simply following a directive to find love. And this person, this customer, this client also is only looking for love and finding love in the way that they know how to find love with this product or whatever it is. And sometimes it's a misguided search, looking in the wrong direction. But it's still motivated, the underlying motive of all action, of all words, no matter how rude, underneath that is only love. Love for whatever it is that they think is going to give them more love, more joy, more. They're only looking for that.
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah, and in that sense, they are no different than any of us. We are all just looking for love and doing what we know how to do to feel love, to express love. So once we know that, then
Yeah.
we don't have to hold on to any, kirkirapan ki isne aisa kyun kaha re. This is, she's also just love in this form, love in these words, love in this shape, in this size.
Absolutely. And sir, once we understand this, then the question of being upset or sad will not arise.
Exactly. Exactly.
Got it.
Yes, absolutely. Where is the sadness? Where all you found is love.
Is
Now
love.
you,
Yeah.
all you have, all you can do is celebrate. Wonderful. And still you
Thank you
can hang
so
up the
much.
phone. Perfectly okay to hang up the phone.
Yeah, I didn't want it to continue
Right. No, I
and feel
understand.
bad or
Yeah,
talk further
this,
bad because I don't like to speak bad.
Right. No, but don't hang up because you don't want to feel bad. Once you cross this bridge, then you don't have to feel bad about whatever is being said. You're
Got
not
it, sir.
hanging up the phone because you feel bad. Because that
Got it.
feeling bad wala to humne solve kar diya ki there's nothing to feel.
Hanji. So next time this thing will not arise of disconnecting because I'll understand that this person can
It's coming from
underneath is
love.
also love from
No,
love.
no,
Yes.
that's okay. But at the same time, in this moment, they are expressing that love in a form which is not palatable for you. And so very gently, very lovingly, you can still hang up the phone. No problem.
Got it, sir. Thank you so much. Sir. Thank
Yeah,
you so
it's not that we don't, that we have, now that we have understood this, that means we become like a doormat who anybody can say anything and you'll just sit there, oh, I love you, I love you. No. Yes, I love you, and I'm not going to speak to you right now.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes, sir. A very thin
Sir,
line, but yes.
Very thin line, very, absolutely, absolutely. Very
Yes.
fine line.
Sir, in
Yeah.
continuation to this question,
Hmm.
in case then the relationship gets hampered, like suppose you hang up or you stop the conversation, the other person doesn't want to talk to you. So is that okay with it?
Of course
So
it
then,
is. If it's
from my
okay,
side, it is love.
listen,
From my
listen,
side, it is
listen,
love. The other person
listen.
has
I
taken it as
know.
offensive.
I understand. If it's okay for you not to talk to them, how can it not be okay for them not to talk to you? It's okay. It's perfectly okay. If it's okay for you to hang up on them and not speak to them, it is also, it's also okay for them to have the same right and
So
privilege
the
that you're
relationship
giving yourself.
ends, no, then.
The relationship ends, but the love doesn't.
So then the love remains in your heart and her heart on a separate basis.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The love remains in your heart. The love remains not expressed in any particular form, but that's the important, that's the gold. जो treasure है उसको रखना है. And you are feeling love. You feeling love, expressing love is the gold. What shape it takes, what form it takes, minor detail. Minor detail. और हम उसी में वो माइनर डिटेल में जिंदगी गवा देते हैं. और जो सोना है वो छूट जाता है हाथों से. That's the issue. So it's okay. It's okay. We
Sir, I
cannot,
wanted to
we
a little
cannot,
bit
we
more
cannot,
elaborate on this question.
yeah,
Now I asked a question, sympathy and compassion.
right.
So when you help somebody or if anybody helps you, many a times it happens that you help with sympathy. Very fewer times it becomes that somebody is compassionate about us. So when it comes to sympathy and he starts feeling, "Arey, maine itna to kiya," so then that gratefulness is also not there. No, then I'm facing this every day. That's why I'm asking this question.
No, but
I may have a lot of compassion for the other, but the other person may not have that. He is talking to you from the sympathetic point of view.
how about this, Sonal? There is no other. There is no other. All reflections of only the I. All mirror reflections of I. Only I showing up there, showing up in this form. So there is no other. So if we are starting with there is no other, there is no other. There is only I. So then this conflict, ये conflict वाली, मतलब from the root itself we are stopping this misunderstanding. Other है ही नहीं तो अभी क्या बहस?
I am responsible.
I am responsible is also too much. थोड़ा subtract करो इसमें से. From I am responsible, what will you subtract?
Responsible.
Exactly. I am responsible में से responsible निकाल दो and understand I am. I am. And from that I am, everything is clear. It's only when you add things to I am, then things get unnecessarily complicated and unclear. I am. I am is the only real truth that you really know. I am responsible. Yeah, SSY में कहा है, मैंने भी कहा है. Yes, maybe it is true. But I am is a truth that you live, that you know at the deepest level of your core, without question and without any kind of a doubt. I am. The moment I ask you, are you there? And you said yes. The I am is the one, that one truth, I am. So when we start to operate from at that level, then what? Then all, who is there to hurt and who is there to be hurt and who has to give hurt? There's only I. This person is doing this, I am doing this, that person is doing that. There's only you. There's only I, in different forms, in different roles. In a movie, if the villain does whatever they do to the hero, when the hero reacts to the villain's negative actions, but as soon as the scene is over, the hero and the villain just give each other a hug, right? And go for a drink together, right? Pran and Amitabh Bachchan, or whoever the hero and villain are, on the set, yes, they may fight, they may do whatever, but the moment they realize and stop this act, they go out and have a joke and have a drink. So the moment we drop this pretension, what is the movie? It's just a pretend. The moment we drop the pretense, then what becomes possible is the hug rather than the fight. When you know that this person is only playing this role of villain, and then you know that he's not really a villain. He's just playing the role of villain, right? So why would you hate somebody who's just playing a role of whatever the role they're playing? And that only happens when you realize that you are also just playing a role. Then the movie can be taken in the next scene in the movie goes in any direction, because now the actors have disappeared and the true selves have appeared. वो छुरा तलवार सब बंदूक छोड़कर अभी गले मिलते हैं और सेट से निकल के as one, as friends. So this is the model for life also. Yes? Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Great. So scratch the surface. This वो रिक्शा में traffic में किया था आपने. That was easier. I told you. The traffic, those noisy situations are easier. It gets more difficult when it comes closer to you. Remember? It's easy to scratch that lottery ticket when it's a stranger and find the love.
Yeah.
But when it's your spouse, your brother, your sister, your mother, your child, when it gets closer and closer, then scratching that surface and finding the love is the bigger challenge. So now take on the bigger challenge.
Very true.
Yeah, so scratch the surface in whatever this relationship you're talking about, which is a close one, and find the love, hit the lottery. Wonderful. Great. Thank you. Thank you
Thank you, sir.
all. Thank you. Hey, you Bombay guys, now we are going to do a lot of things in Mumbai, okay? With that orphanage, we are going to start the class. We are also we want to start this live kirtan on a weekly basis with a live audience. We will, of course, we will transmit it on open door live, but people who are in Mumbai, we want to physically meet in a, so here's the vision I want you all to align on. So who all are in Mumbai from here? So Rajesh, Sana, Sonal,
Surely.
Sandhya Ben, Jennifer G. I don't know, Archana, are you in Mumbai or I don't know, Pune, I think. But so here is the vision, and I was sharing this with Sana yesterday. The vision is to find a space like a beautiful cathedral with high ceilings and beautiful acoustics, where when the people sing together in a chorus, there is this divine vibration. And the vision is to chant together with nice, good musicians, like the kind of class that we have, Chris and Jacob and all these guys from Oasis, from the retreat. That level of musician getting together with the crowd in this beautiful space and chanting and creating this divine experience. So that's what's happening. So Mumbai guys, get ready for live action. And everyone else outside of Mumbai, of course, you can always come to Mumbai, but you will enjoy this on live streaming also. Okay, wonderful. So please align on that mission and make it happen. All right, Rajesh,
Yes, sir.
I need you guys to find us a beautiful, nice, small hall with beautiful acoustics. Whether it's a church that allows other communities to come and have events, that'll be ideal. But any place with nice acoustics and a nice atmosphere. Okay, great. Thank you, thank you, thank you.